Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I gotta sit there and say that I really enjoyed this episode so much. Now I know that the devil's not there possessing Johnny and everything like that, but I'm really loving this version of Johnny. This I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna say what I want, and that's just how it's gonna go. I am loving this version of Johnny. I know a lot of people don't really like the whole possession storyline, and I get it. But for this, for you know, the way Johnny has been acting, I'm loving it. So from Friday, he pretty much tells her, I don't want to be married to you. And Paulina, the woman was so angry. It was hilarious. And Chanel seemed like I'm like, Chanel, what part don't you understand? She's all like, I looked into your eyes and you made me believe that you love me and this, that, and the third, and I don't understand what's going on. Sweetheart, he literally just said in plain English that he doesn't want to be with you anymore. I don't understand what is so hard to comprehend. He literally just said this in front of everyone in the room. Everyone else got it. Why is it taking you so long? I don't understand. Like, what is going on? I get it. It's a soap opera. It's supposed to be dramatic, but after a while, it's like, I just like, why are you not comprehending this? Like, after a while, it was just like, so she says her piece. She leaves. Paulina gets in on Johnny. There's a couple of times that EJ's like, yo, you might want to kind of tread lightly. And, Paulina was like, I told you, I wouldn't let you just sit there and do something like that to my daughter, do something like that to my loved one, and just get away with it. And Johnny just walked up like, and I just did. And nothing happened. And he walked off. That's not what he said, but he said something like that. He walked off. And I was just like, I'm loving this version of Johnny. Paulina was like, oh, hell no. Like her reaction was priceless. So she follows Johnny and grabs his hand um as he's walking up the stairs. And I guess he does something. He makes a chandelier drop. And at the last second, Lonnie pushes her out the way. And he just sits there and looks at her and says something along the lines of, well, this is what happens when you use God's name in vain. And even EJ was like even he was surprised at the way he was acting. I mean, hell, his face was surprised the entire time when he was sitting there telling Chanel how much that he didn't want to be with her anymore. Like there was a couple of times he looked like it just didn't seem right. Like he's just not acting like himself. And when he said that, he followed him upstairs. And I was like, what the hell was that? So you know, Johnny's just like, all right, well, he explains to EJ why he did what he did, and the fact that he doesn't want to have her hold me down and stuff like that. And there's a couple of times he has this. Okay, EJ has this look on his face where it's like it's a bit of him being proud of him, of embracing this Demera attitude, but also this look of like surprise. Like it just doesn't seem like him, you know. Um, and there's one thing where Johnny's like, well, she was just after me for my money, and I had to kind of let her go, whatever. And EJ was like, but yet you came at me sideways when I said the same thing. So I don't know if EJ fully is buying this sudden turnaround that Johnny is having. Um, but again, there's a part of him that's kind of proud that he's embracing, um, this new attitude, this new Demera attitude. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see if the devil stays in Johnny. Because to be honest, the minute that it leaves Johnny, um, I don't know. But I gotta sit there and say that was literally my favorite part in this whole episode. So Chanel's all heartbroken and everything like that. Allie comes to go and check on her, calm her down, give her a hug and stuff like that. But then the next thing okay, she tries to make her feel better by Smith saying, he wasn't the one, and you'll find somebody who's gonna love you for who you are, and that's you're a great person, this, that, and the third. Just giving her a nice, good pep talk. So I'm like, okay, because we all know, we're all thinking the same thing at this point. And I'm already sitting there looking at this scene like, where's this scene going? Where are we going with this scene? Because I have a feeling it's going to go in a direction. Well, I'm probably going to be calling Allie a bunch of names. And so I paused it and I went out to go get me something to eat, and I came back. I'm like, all right, because I didn't want to sit there and rush this. So I was like, all right, let me just, good, I ate, let's do it. So, she hugs her and everything like that. And I guess she takes her, I don't know where she takes her at. Because I guess she went back to the house. She went back to Paulina's house, but then they go back to, I'm not going to lie, I don't know exactly where the hell they went to. Anyway, um, it's kind of odd. Did they take, no, I don't know where they went. Anyway, she helps her undress. Like, she helps Chanel undress. And I'm like, why does she need help undressing? I mean, she dressed herself up this way. You tell me that you needed to be there to undress her? Like, what is going on? So, they start talking about us against the world, and I was got your back, and blah, 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 blah. And they hug, and then Chanel kisses Allie. And I'm just like, Chanel, what in the hell are you doing? I mean, watching this whole scene, watching it played out, I know there was a couple people that felt sorry for Chanel. Part of me wanted to, but then the other part of me was just like, I don't even like this chick. So I don't know how to feel about her. But then she goes and she kisses Allie, and I'm just like, see, I'm so glad that I was just not, on a train of feeling sorry for her, because I'm like, all right, I get it. Your marriage imploded. This guy that you love dumped you. You know that she is with Trip. You know she's with somebody else. What the hell are you doing? Why are you kissing her for? Now the question would be, Allie kissed her back. How long is this going to continue? Because at some point, I'm sitting there looking at this whole thing. I'm like, all right, Allie, she kissed you, so I'm not gonna start writing notes of things to say. But if you don't do something about this, or if you don't sit there and check her, we're gonna have two problems. I just, you know what it is? I have a feeling that Allie's gonna sit there and mess up a good thing that she has with Trout. Mess up a good thing with a guy who she falsely accused of doing something really bad, and wasn't even sure of it. Wasn't even sure as far as him doing it in the first place, and almost did something like pretty much shot him in a place where, um, let's just sit there and say it would have been life changing, and something that she couldn't have took back when she found out the truth. And not only did this guy actually, accept her apology, because to be honest, he really didn't have to. Let's just be very, very clear. Yeah, she apologized. She owned up to it. But there's nothing in any manual that's saying that I have to forgive you. Okay? And he did something that, well, most people wouldn't have. He accepted her apology. Not just that, he accepted her apology and they went out together. And he's been treating her good ever since. So for her to do something with Chanel and hurt Trip, the guy who actually, probably one of the only guys that was in her life as far as in the relationship go, actually be good to her. To do that with a self-centered, spoiled little brat. That yes, I know she's kind of grown and whatever, but to sit there and do that with her, y'all both get exactly what y'all deserve, and I don't feel bad for either one of y'all at all. I think Anna needs to really sit there and watch her mouth because EJ comes down there and he's like, oh, I can use one of those, and Anna's like, oh, pour it yourself. I'm ashamed to sit there and be a part of this family. And EJ was like, well, you're not ashamed to spend our money. And Tony, is gonna sit there and defend his wife, but I'm like, Tony, you might want to sit there and check your girl, cause she's being a little kind of mouthy. And here's the thing. Granted, I get it. I'm not sitting there saying what Anna feels is wrong. Okay, um, to her, what Johnny did was inexcusable, and it was really messed up and really hurtful. Um, And Anna didn't even sit there and know Chanel that long or know Paulina that long. So to sit there and have him act the way that he did, yeah, I understand that. But don't sit there and go around sitting there talking about, oh, I feel ashamed of being a part of this family. Really, sweetheart? Really? Like, no. No. Tony, you might want to sit there and check your girl. Like, for real. Now, the whole time this is going on, you got Susan that is still feeling sick and nauseous. Apparently, she feels like this whenever she gets one of those premonitions. There's one point where she drops the glass. At the same time, that's when the chandelier drops. So when she comes back to the house and she looks at the ground, she sees the chandelier. She's like, yeah, okay. So she goes up to the room and she talks to Johnny. He's like, did you see, Elvis Jr.? I'm not calling him Elvis Jr. I'm not doing it. But she's like, did you see your dad? And then talking about the whole Chanel thing, like, you don't seem like you're brokenhearted about that. You seem like you're fine. And Johnny's like, oh, Grandma, you sitting there spying on me. And that's when Susan's like, yeah, I know that I'm not talking to my grandson Johnny right now. So I'm like, Susan, you just got out the hospital after going a couple of rounds with the devil. You really think it's a good idea to, I don't know, antagonize him, like face to face? Then again, she's not exactly the brightest bulb, so you know, it seems like Paulina's brush with death, you know, might have softened Lonnie as far as her feelings towards Paulina. And yeah, granted, I get it. She did it as a reflex because that's who she is. She's a cop. She runs towards danger, not away from danger. So that was just an impulsive move. But what she did say was she called her, I believe she called her mom or a mother or whatever before before everything went down, as it was going down. So it seems like the relationship might start to come together somewhat. I don't know. With Lonnie, I don't know with that girl. I really don't. But seems like it may, they may form some sort of relationship after what happened. I mean, I guess, nearly seeing her die or get killed might have kind of make her realize that, she does have some sort of feelings towards her. And the thing is, here's the thing, it's not that she doesn't, but she just buried it with just anger and hate and resentment. So, Abe and John is sitting there playing poker. There's one point where it says 666, and I'm just like, John's just like, yeah, don't, we're not telling those jokes tonight. But yeah, they talk about Paulina a little bit, and John is just like, you probably still have feelings for her, just because of the way that he was. What did they say? Died by protest too much. I guess that's like Shakespeare or something. But the way he was very adamant about one of his statements about Paulina. John was like, yeah, you might have, you still probably has feelings for her. And there's a point where he's playing solitary because apparently people still do that. And, Abe is sitting there thinking about, Paulina as far as the day before that they got, a couple of days or whatever before they got married and just how happy he was. So, he still has feelings for her. And, I guess they're going to be tested when he finds out what happened to her. Towards the end, Marlena meets up with John. I don't think they really talked about anything too interesting. And of course, like I said, well, Tripp was there in the beginning to examine Susan, which he ruled out was, like everything was fine with her on a physical level. So, yeah. Other than that, I'm not gonna lie, he didn't really do too much. He did sit there and want to calling Allie, which Allie's too busy at the moment deciding on which way her relationship is gonna go. That's literally what she's doing because depending on tomorrow's episode is going to really decide on which way she wants her relationship to go. And I think we all have this. I'm not going to sit there and say fear, but we all have this theory that she's going to mess up her relationship with Trev to be with Chanel, and she's going to be doing her whole poor Allie routine. And I guess I'm going to have a couple of choice words for that. So I guess we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. Like I said, favorite scene was the whole Johnny scene. And it's kind of interesting because, they call, like, I feel like they call EJ like the devil incarnate, and yet he's actually standing next to the real devil. Something to think about. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.